Let's talk about the underlying reason you're not at your next level yet. Some of you think you're being disciplined, but you're actually being devoted to a voice that no longer fits your future. You call it tough love, accountability. You call it not letting myself get lazy. But what if the way you talk to yourself is the very thing keeping you stuck in survival, orbiting a version of you that can't access her next level? You can't build a life while letting an old soundtrack narrate it. Self-drag, dressed as discipline, keeps you busy, self-aware, doing the work, but never fully landing in who you're becoming. And this episode is for the woman who sees the pattern but hasn't yet updated the voice that's leading her, who is ready to release the language and rewrite the script for that negative self-talk that keeps her looping. We're talking about how to shift from self-drag to self-devotion, not with the fluffy affirmations, but with self-leadership, truth, and authority. If you are ready to speak to yourself like the woman you're becoming and not the girl you used to be, keep listening, friend. Hey, queen. Welcome back. This space is for women who are no longer interested in becoming better through punishment, but through presence, power, and precision. If you've been confusing harshness with strength or self-criticism with growth, you're not wrong. You're just operating from old, outdated programming. And today we're updating the language that leads you. So let me ask you something real quick. If the voice in your head talked to your daughter, your best friend, or the woman you're praying to become, the way it talks to you, would you allow it in the room? Yeah, that pause you just felt, that's why this episode is for you. Because after the identity detox, something wild happens. You stop being the old version of you, but that negative Nelly voice, she's still handling the commentary, still narrating, still dragging, still trying to keep you humble with language that was never wholly, just familiar. You've outgrown survival, but you haven't yet updated that voice that's leading you. It's the soundtrack you're using to lead your life. Right now, somebody out there is trying to build a luxury future while letting a bootleg remix of survival trauma narrate their every move. That tough love voice, that don't get too comfortable energy, that inner monologue that sounds like a drill sergeant instead of a guide, she's showing up in so many places in your life in full Dolby surround sound. And she sounds a lot like the productivity self-drag. This is the voice that turns rest into a moral failure. It says things like, why can't you just get it together? You don't deserve a break yet. You're being lazy, push harder, because if you really wanted this, you'd do more. Translation, your worth equals your output. Friend, that ain't it. Or maybe it's healing self-drag, the one who shames herself for still being human. She says things like, I should be past this by now. I know better, so why am I still here? Or the classic, what's wrong with me? Translation, growth should be linear or else you're failing. Or maybe it's identity self-drag. This keeps her tethered to the old version. She says things like, this is just how I am, or I always mess things up, or the ultimate, who do I think I am? Translation, past behavior gets the final word. And what's so prevalent today? The comparison self-drag. This one quietly erodes confidence when she says things like, everyone else seems to have it all figured out. Or, I'm so behind. I should be further by now. Or, why is this easier for them? Translation, it'll never happen for you because your timeline is wrong. This one is the one that I had to work through the most, the emotional self drag. This is where self abandonment hides. It says things like, I'm being too sensitive. I shouldn't feel this way. Or why can't I just let this go? Translation, your emotions are inconvenient. And hey, while we're here, let's really call it out because some of this self talk has nothing to do with tough love. It's just downright mean. It says hurtful things and calls you names like ugly, stupid, or worthless, and other harmful things that are just too painful to say out loud. Friend, I say this with so much love. And as your coach, I must tell you, some of y'all don't need another breakthrough. You need to stop letting this voice talk. Because if anyone spoke to you the way that you speak to yourself, we'd call it toxic. But because it's you, you call it discipline. Friend, that is not motivation. That is self-drag with a microphone. Self-drag is like letting the villain narrate the hero's journey. Imagine watching the pursuit of happiness, but the whole time there's a voice saying, see, he's failing again. He's probably going to mess this up too. You'd never call that character motivational. You'd call them out of place. Yet somehow you let that voice commentate your life like it's an authority. But today, we're cutting the mic. Main character energy is deciding who gets the mic because awareness isn't enough anymore. You need a new language, one that actually escorts you into your next level instead of keeping you circling the old one. You are not here to keep auditioning for the old role. You are here to step fully into the woman you are becoming. Friend, transformation isn't a one-time moment. It's wrapped up even in the small, steady shifts that rewire your identity over time. If something in you is already cracking open, if you feel that, oh wow, this episode is speaking directly to me, then hit subscribe so we can keep doing this hard work together. Your healing deserves consistency, and subscribing is a vote for the woman you are becoming. Okay, now let's be bold. Tough love is keeping you in the waiting room. Why? Because tough love isn't taking you higher. It's keeping you on loop. It's like trying to drive you into your future while blasting an old breakup song that keeps pulling you back emotionally, like Ruben Studdard when he was sorry for 2004. You're moving, but you're not arriving. That voice that says, you should be further by now. Don't get lazy or stay on yourself. That voice was useful when survival required hypervigilance. But at your next level, it keeps you alert, but not aligned. And alert people don't expand, they brace. Your inner critic was a survival employee, not a lifetime partner, okay? Here's the truth that nobody talks enough about. Your inner critic wasn't even born evil. She was hired. She showed up when you needed to stay small, to stay safe, when perfection felt like protection, or self-attack kept you in line. She was simply doing her job. But beloved, that season has ended. And what no one talks about is this. The critic doesn't leave on her own. She has to be released. You don't argue with her. You don't shame her. You thank her for her service, and then you escort her out. Because survival language cannot lead a sovereign life. Tough love is simply a survival strategy, not a leadership skill. Tough love worked when your nervous system needed pressure to perform, when fear kept you moving, when rest felt unsafe. But at your next level, pressure without compassion becomes paralysis. That harsh inner voice doesn't propel you forward anymore. It keeps you circling that last version of you that knew how to respond to threat. Tough love isn't making you strong. It's keeping you loyal to survival. So you are not stuck because you lack discipline. You're stuck because your system is still listening to a voice trained in emergency, not expansion. Survival language cannot steward a sovereign life. And not only that, self-drag keeps you loyal to the old orbit. That's the sneaky part. When you talk to yourself and say things like, I should be further by now. Why can't I just get it together? Or I know better. What's wrong with me? You are unconsciously tethering yourself to the identity that needed that voice to function. Self-drag is a gravitational pull. It keeps you orbiting the old version of you because it's familiar, predictable. But elevation requires detachment. You don't rise by protecting your old self. You rise by changing who gets to speak inside you. Self-drag is a trauma reflex, not a personality trait. Some of you think this is just how I talk. No, ma'am. Self-drag is what happens when your nervous system thinks threat equals motivation. But here's the plot twist. You can't self-abuse your way into your next level. Your body does not bloom under attack. It blooms under safety and direction. Your healed identity requires a voice that can hold discomfort without turning it into a character assassination. That, my friend, is the upgrade. Ooh, friend, popping in here real quick. Let me paint this picture for you. Imagine sitting down at the end of your day, tea or your favorite drink in hand, soft music on, the world quiet. And instead of spiraling or replaying old moments, you open a journal that guides you into the most elevated, grounded, powerful version of yourself. That's the main character energy journal prompts. Specifically written for you, every single prompt pulls you deeper into self-awareness, self-respect, self-trust, identity alignment, emotional clarity. These journal prompts help you hear your intuition louder. It helps you see the patterns clearly and helps you shift your energy intentionally. And on the other side, you become the woman who no longer questions her worth because she's been sitting with it daily, pouring into it, strengthening it, returning to it. Imagine flipping through these pages months from now and realizing, I became her. I became the woman I kept writing about. Ooh, friend, that's the magic waiting for you. So grab your journal prompts in the link below in the show notes, and let's put your evolution in ink. Self-devotion changes the song you live by. Because let's be honest, some of you are still living life to a struggle anthem when your season requires a victory soundtrack. Self-devotion is choosing words that regulate your nervous system, reinforce trust with yourself, call you up instead of calling you out and leaving you flatlined, okay? You don't need hype. You need leadership. The voice you practice becomes the voice that leads. This is the part that so many people skip. You don't wait until you feel confident to speak differently. You speak differently until confidence catches up. Your inner dialogue is a daily rehearsal. And right now, some of you are still rehearsing for a role you've already been released from. Main character energy is choosing language that matches your future posture, not your past wounds. Positive self-talk is not lying to yourself or skipping accountability, because you can still speak to yourself with love and hold yourself accountable. It's choosing language that tells the truth without threatening your nervous system. So next, I want to share with you the inner coach language framework, because this is the ultimate upgrade and shift. Because listen, friend, I get it. Updating your self-talk is not easy, but it is doable. And that's what this framework is going to help you do. So step one, clock it. It's the awareness. Notice the self drag. Name it without judgment. Heavy on the without judgment, friend. Just acknowledge it. That's the survival voice. And then step two, filter it through self-love, because this is your new lens. Self-love is not softness. It's self-honoring truth. So ask yourself, if I loved myself, how would I talk to myself right now? Not what feels comfortable or avoids accountability, but what moves me forward without abandoning myself or tearing me down. Step three is coach it. And this is your replacement language. Here's the swap. Instead of, I always mess this up, you're going to say, this didn't align. Let's adjust. We're no longer saying, I'm so behind. Instead, we're saying, I'm integrating. Growth takes presence and practice. We are releasing the why can't I get it together? No more, friend. Instead, we say, what support do I need to lead myself better here? And now this one right here changed how I talk to myself. So let's say you miss a workout, because we all know health and fitness, it's super important. And we set these goals that we want to be more healthy, and working out is usually a part of that equation. So you've already geared yourself up. You're already ready. Like the workout is scheduled. It's on the calendar. You're ready to go. Clothes laid out, shoes, boom, you're ready. And then you miss that workout. And the old voice says, here we go again. You never stick to anything. Nope. Cancel that. New inner coach says, okay, we missed today. Is there a way I can still move my body today? And what's the most loving way to re-enter tomorrow? You see, friend, same accountability, different nervous system response. Positive self-talk doesn't remove responsibility. It removes the self-abandonment. That's inner coach language. It's grounded, it's honest, it's self-respecting. Okay, listen, if you've been navigating life feeling a little disconnected from who you know you are meant to be, the main character confidence checklist is your guide back to yourself. It brings you back to your standards, your values, your center, the parts of you that get lost when life gets loud. Download it for free, and let this be the daily reminder that you are allowed to take up space, to honor your worth, and live like the main character you truly are. Now, this is where we make all of this real, because knowing this isn't enough. Nodding along isn't enough. Even catching the self-drag, it's a first step, but it's not the final step. Awareness without application will still leave you circling the same level, just more conscious this time. And I don't want you just hearing this episode. I want you using it. The moment that negative voice creeps in, whether it's in the car, in the mirror, mid-mistake, or even mid-trigger. So I'm going to give you a simple, repeatable practice you can come back to every single time the self-drag tries to grab the mic. Not something fluffy, not something you have to overthink, but something that lets you interrupt the old language and lead yourself in real time. It's our favorite, our self-love two-step. This one is real-time shift. Because self-love isn't just a feeling, it's a daily decision you practice. And once you have this, you won't just notice the negative self-talk, you'll know exactly what to do next. So, step one, interrupt the drag. Say out loud or internally, we do not speak to ourselves like that anymore. That sentence alone, pure power. Step two, speak from devotion. Then you say to yourself, what's the most loving, honest direction right now? Let that be your new default. Practice makes it permanent. Self-devotion is the voice that lets you land. It sounds like pause, we're safe, now choose. It sounds like that didn't align, but it doesn't define you. It sounds like you don't need to rush, you need to reboot. This voice doesn't orbit the past, it anchors the future. And when you speak from this place, something shifts. You stop circling who you were and finally arrive as who you are becoming. That's main character energy, not performance, but presence. Now, let me pour into you real quick. Listen, you do not need to bully yourself into your destiny. If harshness actually worked, you'd already be there. I hope you know there is another way. A way to live your life and love your days, to look in the mirror and be proud of the reflection you see looking back at you, to have the life, love, relationships, and success you crave while having your wholeness intact. Loving yourself means refusing to abandon yourself while you grow. The question isn't, how do I push harder? It's, how do I lead myself better? You are not behind because your inner voice still sounds like survival. You are becoming because you can hear it now. Awareness is evidence of evolution. Safety is the soil your next level grows in. And the woman you're becoming, she doesn't need to be yelled at to rise. She responds to clarity, compassion, and command. The woman you're becoming doesn't respond to shame. She responds to trust. So speak to yourself like she matters, like she's trusted, like she's already on her way, because she is. And the moment you stop dragging yourself forward is the moment you stop orbiting who you were and finally land in who you are meant to be. Change the voice, change the song, because the season has changed. Change the language, change the leadership, change your life. Speak to yourself like the woman you're becoming is listening. You are the main character of your life, the confident and empowered woman who is already complete, already living in her wholeness, who loves herself fully and talks to herself like it. Ooh, friend, if this episode lit something in you, honor it. Subscribe so you can stay in this frequency, because this is not about fixing yourself. It's about leading yourself. And leave a 5-star review if you are ready to stop surviving your life and start speaking it into alignment. Until next time, Queen, choose devotion over drag and let your inner coach boldly lead yourself well. I'm sending you great big virtual hugs. Love you, friend.